Dear Diary, this is part 3 of Alec Cumming, Rob's Supercute, his own daughter Julia Cumming, touching you, and many, many others. This is part 3. I had to chop it up because YouTube was giving me trouble.
There's lots of things I left out that I should probably include. Example, Alec now takes a real keen interest in his daughter. You know why? Because his daughter now is in the New York Times. Alec's never been in the New York Times. None of his bands or any of his fellow musicians have ever been in the New York Times. His daughter is in the New York Times. She's 15. Holy shit. He's like, man, I'm going to make some bank on this little brat. And he's like, whoa, I'm backstage at a sold-out show at Terminal 5, 4,000 people in the audience here. I'm meeting Kate Nash, a British pop star. Whoa, this is awesome. I'm glad I got this little hooker I can pimp out. He didn't care about his daughter until she was getting successful. Did I mention he was a snake before? I'm sorry. I must have been a little too conservative there. He's a super snake. Alec, just prove how much you cared about your daughter. You're a musician. Tell us, show us the evidence that you were doing a lot. When you weren't chasing women to get laid all the time and stealing your daughter's money to get laid. No. You were spending time with your daughter, showing her musical tricks and all kinds of other things like that, and bonding with your own child, your only child. Show us the evidence, asshole, from 2 years ago, asshole. You're a disgusting human being. I could be wrong, but you told me that it was all true. Because you clammed up. I didn't know. I wasn't an eyewitness. Tina and Rachel could have gotten the facts wrong. Maybe Julia was making it up to get attention. Your silence proved it was all true. An innocent person doesn't refuse to defend themselves, scumbag. Now you pretend to care about Julia. And she's probably tricked by that because it's nice to have a dad who actually suddenly cares about you. But she doesn't maybe realize, because she might still be young and naive, that her dad doesn't give a fuck about her. He sees dollar signs when he sees his daughter. He's the Michael Lohan of Supercute. And like Michael Lohan, Alec Cumming belongs in prison. I wanted to get educational here and go off on a tangent about just some of the things he's destroyed with Supercute. Never mind destroying my entire life. He's destroyed Supercute. Here's an example. Last summer. This is a real tangent, but it's educational. Since I was a boy, it pissed me off. I don't like discrimination. I don't give a shit if it's based on gender, sexual orientation, skin color. I don't give a shit. Age. I hate discrimination. And when I was 16, 17, well, no, actually, I didn't start actually playing guitar, though, until I was 17. But I was a music fanatic at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yet I couldn't go see almost any live acts. All I could do is go to a fucking Worcester Centrum, some fucking shithole stadium that wasn't made for music in the first place, that holds 15,000 assholes. Those places suck. No intelligent person goes to places like that. If you're smart like me, you discover bands when they're great and they're fresh. I went to see a band called Nirvana when they were a quartet in 1989, playing a tiny, tiny little venue, held fucking 50 people. I paid fucking whatever, $5 to get in, maybe less. That's the way you do it. I saw almost every one of the bands you love. I saw them when they were fucking nobodies. And they were really cool, and I paid very little money to see them for real. You don't want to see a band once they're in a fucking stadium because it means they no longer give a fuck. It means they're jaded, they're sick of playing those fucking songs, etc., etc., etc. I like to be ahead of the curve. And I couldn't go to any of the shows I wanted to see. If I wanted to see Bill Bruford and Alan Holdsworth playing, they were playing jazz venues. They're jazz rock. And of course, those places were all 21 in fucking Boston. It was fucking annoying. Who stuck up for me? Who stuck up for the weak? Not Alec Cumming. He only cares about himself. And so I realized for a decade I've said I really want somebody to sue the shit out of the government, etc., for the 21 plus venues that are flagrantly illegal. It's a no-brainer that you can't have a venue that's 21 and older. That's like having a venue that's whites only. It's like having a club that says women not allowed. I mean, that's not legal. It's it's age discrimination. They can't even argue it's not arbitrary. They could say, well, we serve liquor, so we can't have young people in here. Really? But every restaurant sells liquor. When was the last time you saw a restaurant that was 21 plus, you fucking liars? Now, it's not completely the venue's fault. They would love to, most of them would love to have 17-year-olds come to their show. They'd have millions more customers. They'd be making money. Before Giuliani got here in New York City and cheated his 2 elections, you could get drinks in any bar I ever saw in New York City, even if you looked 10. The standard was, are you breaking anything? Are you smashing anything? Are you puking? Are you doing anything irresponsible? No? Then we don't mind. People should be allowed to do whatever they want to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. But a lot of right-wing scumbags like Alec Cumming don't believe that. And Tina Trachtenburg don't believe this. They believe in discrimination because they're right-wingers. And right-wingers are hypocritical fucking kook nut jobs who always say, do as I say, not as I do. I bet you Alec Cumming drank before he was 21. I bet you Alec Cumming was a musician before he was 21, and he probably also resented the fucking age discrimination. But he's the motherfucker who stopped the lawsuit. He's a fucking ultimate two-faced piece of shit. And Tina Trachtenburg, too, stopped the lawsuit. Listen to what happened. First of all, let me finish my point about age discrimination. It's a no-brainer that you can't have a venue that's 21 plus. That's arbitrary age discrimination. They can't say, oh, we didn't have the technology to put a Sharpie X on their fucking hand. Shut up. We didn't have the technology to get those fucking braces that all ages venues do or all ages do. Oh, shut the fuck up, liars. But again, it's not the club's fault. It's mostly the government's fault. Giuliani declared war on underage drinking. He didn't stop one person from drinking because right-wingers are out of their fucking minds. They don't accomplish shit except wasting trillions of tax dollars and harassing zillions of people. Giuliani, who drank alcohol before he was of legal age, would send in the oldest-looking 20-year-old cops he could get, have them grow facial hair, go into bars, and order drinks. And then he'd hit the bartender with a $1,000 fine and the venue with a $3,000 fine. Fucking snake. Alec Cumming should fucking work for Giuliani Partners. And that's disgusting. Disgusting. You're not going to stop any teenagers from drinking, you asshole. The difference is now you push them out in the fucking parks and shit, or they got to drink outdoors because they can't drink at home with their parents, and they can't drink in a fucking venue, so they got to drink in the parks and stuff where they get drunk and they break shit and cause trouble out of boredom. You created crime, Giuliani, you fucking retard. Thank God the newspapers all lied to cover it up. Well, it cost us $8 billion in corporate welfare, but who's keeping track? Only me. Anyhow. So I mentioned it to Rachel. I said, Rachel, because Rachel's gotten shit, and Supercute got shit at times because they were underage. Even though they're playing a gig, they got hassled. Kate Nash on the Kate Nash tour. There were tours where she couldn't fucking drink. In Seattle, they took away all the booze of the band, British band, because they were 18, 19, and 20. Well, in England, they could drink, you fucking Nazis. And you're not going to it's just fucking outrageous, the discrimination based on age. And it's arbitrary. They can't argue it's not arbitrary. No, 20-year-olds can't be allowed to drink because of this reason, but 21-year-olds can. They can't argue that's not arbitrary. It's retarded. My proposal when I was a teenager was pretty brilliant. It was a maturity card. Your card allows you to do things based on how mature you are. Age has nothing to do with it. There are 30-year-olds who shouldn't be allowed near liquor. And there are 15-year-olds who should be. There are 40-year-olds who shouldn't be allowed to have sex, consensual sex. They're not intelligent enough to fucking consent to it, And 15. I know a lot of 15-year-olds who are more mature than any 30-year-old. Rachel's more mature than most 30-year-olds I know, and smarter. But she doesn't get treated like that. No one is treated on their own merit or their value. That's not right. Just like if you're a grade A student, you should get perks in society that F students maybe don't. You see, they had this proposal years ago to driver's licenses. Like you couldn't get your driver's license at 17 unless you had a certain grade, like a B grade point average. Now, I thought that was kind of a novel idea. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if I completely agree with it because, for instance, I failed a couple classes in school because I refused to play their stupid fucking games, and I used to walk out of my school. So it's a little complicated, but we can work out a lot more solutions that are better than saying, you're 20, but you can drink if you're 21. You can drink tomorrow legally, but you can't drink today. Your birthday's tomorrow. You can drink tomorrow. Well, you maybe drink tonight at midnight. It's like, that's fucking stupid. Even the Nazis weren't that fucking stupid. So I said to Rachel, Rachel, you know what? Why don't we, I said, I'm going to contact Norman Siegel, celebrated civil rights attorney here in New York. He's kicked the shit out of the government over and over again on civil rights issues. He beat the shit out of Giuliani on First Amendment issues like 23 times in a row. He fucking kicked the shit out of him. He used to be head of the New York Civil Liberties Union. Norman's a pretty good guy. He's a little too nice a guy. He's kind of wimpy and could do a lot more damage if he was a Johnny Cochran. But I sent an email to him, and he said, this sounds kind of interesting. I said, we got these 3 girls, Supercute, who they can't often go to their friends' shows because their friends are over 21. Their friends' bands are over 21. That's stupid. And it's age discrimination. There's no way this is legal. Because remember, it's already in the books. We have laws against age discrimination. To have a 21-plus club is automatically illegal. You don't need a legal degree to figure that out. I'm just smarter and wiser and pay more attention than everybody else in our society. And I don't like to tolerate injustice and stupidity. And so he said, this is pretty fucking interesting. He said, and then we had a meeting. So Supercute, me and Tina went up to his offices in Madison Avenue, and we had a great meeting with him and 2 of his assistants. And he's like, I looked into it. He says, doesn't look like anyone's ever litigated this before. He said, this is a pretty cool case. And we talked about a bunch of things, the pros and cons. And I don't know if I'll bore you with this fact. For instance, he said, this is curious. He said, the federal discrimination laws include age, and the city discrimination laws include age. But for some reason, New York State's discrimination laws have gender and it has sexual orientation. It doesn't include age. Like, maybe it was an oversight. Who knows? But Norman was like, this could be really amazing. We definitely get the girls a lot of press. I could get them international press. 3 teenage girl ukulele indie bubblegum group filing a lawsuit to emancipate all under 21-year-old people to be able to see music, comedy, go to dance clubs, etc., etc. That's international news. Would have gotten Supercute, $600 million in free advertising. And just 2 fucking douchebags stopped it. Alec Cumming and Tina Trachtenburg. Now, if you were to talk to them in private, they'd both say they supported the lawsuit. But they're such retarded right-wing retards that they destroyed it all. They just burned everything to the ground like fucking morons who didn't think anything through. Because right-wingers never think anything through. And so that's one example of dozens, perhaps hundreds I could list. That a project that I was working on with Supercute that was going to change the world potentially. Remember, they were going to get rich. They were going to get 10 times more famous and sell more records while making the world a better place for all people under 21. And remember, it would also be great for the economy. It was win, 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 win. And 2 fucking scumbags, Alec Cumming and Tina Trachtenburg, stopped it. Every young person on earth should make those 2 famous forever.
End of part 3 of 4.